Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and today we are back yet again with another episode of the greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all time series, and today we are talking about the secondary. Now, for the purposes of this video, and again, my list, I've decided to go with one cornerback, one free safety, as well as one strong safety, and for the cornerback, I decided to go with Ronnie Barber. Now, honorable mention does go to Brian Kelly, as well as Donnie Abraham and Mike Washington. Now, Ronnie Barber obviously was drafted in the third round of the 1997 NFL draft, and this guy's just a beast. You know, there's a lot of debate on who's the best Tampa Bay Buccaneer of all time. Is it Derek Brooks? Is it Ronnie Barber? Is it Warren Sapp? You know, John Lynch maybe? You know, and all these guys played on the same team, and Barber was no exception, you know, in terms of just overall accolades. He was a Super Bowl champion in 2002. He led the NFL in interceptions with 10 in 2001. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time All-Pro first team, a 2-time All-Pro second team, and just overall, the dude's a beast in terms of his overall career numbers. They stack up with guys like Brooks, with guys like Sapp, you know, just linebackers even, you know. For a guy who sometimes wasn't around the ball that much, Barber's career numbers are ridiculous. And like I said, he was a very big part of that Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl win. You know, he had that pick six against Donovan McNabb in the NFC Championship versus the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's just overall a humongous reason for why that defense was as good as it was. Now again, I decided to divide up the statistical categories into 4 sections: assisted tackles, solo tackles, forced fumbles, and interceptions. For assisted tackles, Ronnie Barber comes in at number 6 with 203. And for forced fumbles, Barber comes in at number 4 with 15. And quite honestly, like I said, for a guy who wasn't around the ball that much as just a cornerback, he was around the ball. He's not supposed to be around the ball that much, I guess I should say. He was around the ball a lot. For solo tackles, Barber comes in at number 2 all time. That's including linebackers, defensive ends, defensive tackles, everything. For solo tackles, Barber is number 2 with 1,028. And for interceptions, obviously, Barber comes in at number 1 with 47 interceptions. That's crazy. That's honestly, that's crazy. That's crazy. Ronnie Barber's crazy. 47 interceptions in his career. Ridiculous. Ronnie Barber's numbers are ridiculous. Now, Ronnie Barber played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 1997 all the way to 2012. And I know what you may be thinking is, James, that can accumulate to a lot of games. And you would be absolutely right, dear viewer. Ronnie Barber is first. He's number 1 in all-time games played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with 241. 16 years. He played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for 16 years. That is some longevity there, man, I tell you what. You know, and there was always debate, you know, with Ronnie Barber's like, oh, when is he going to retire? Especially towards the end, you know, in like the 2008 from 2012, you know, there was 4 years there where everybody was like, okay, when's Ronnie Barber going to retire, you know? When's he going to do it? You know, why are we going to re-sign him to another year? What's going to happen, Ronnie? And, you know, he just kept on coming back on these one-year deals, in his words. You know, he kept on getting re-signed to these one-year deals. He kept on coming back, and he just kept on playing. And I love that about Ronnie Barber. You know, he didn't want to quit. 16 years, man. 16 years Ronnie Barber played for the team. That's absolutely incredible, in my opinion. 241 games. You know, most players would probably never even dream of playing 241 games. A 16-year career on the same team. Yeah, players just don't probably think that far ahead, and Ronnie got that far with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He played his whole career. He started as a Buccaneer. He retired as a Buccaneer. He's one of my personal favorite Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all time, and that's crazy, man. That's awesome. However, moving on to the free safety position, and I want to say before I give my pick, I want to say an honorable mention goes to Harry Hamilton, because quite honestly, if you guys look at the stats, Harry Hamilton had a couple of years there where he was just absolutely insane for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think he had 3 years where he had 6 or more interceptions. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy, but I did not decide to go with Harry Hamilton. I instead decided to go with Cedric Brown. Now, I want to go ahead and preface this pick with this. I could not find many stats on Cedric Brown, if any. The only stats I found were how many games he played for the team and how many interceptions he had in the entirety of his career. I couldn't find anything else. I looked on ESPN, I looked on NFL.com, I looked on a multitude of statistical NFL websites. I couldn't find anything substantial on the guy, if anything. Most of it was just left blank. I don't know why this is the case, but unfortunately it was. Now, Cedric Brown was drafted in the 12th round of the 1976 NFL draft by the Oakland Raiders, and then by some circumstance he was gotten to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm not exactly sure how. It was more likelier than not a trade, but, you know, that's how he ended up with the Buccaneers. I don't know what to tell you. Now, Brown would play his entire career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 1976 all the way to 1984. And you could label him as arguably the first dominant defensive back the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ever had, obviously being a free safety. You can't do that much. It's not as flashy as you could say as maybe a cornerback or a linebacker or a defensive lineman, but Cedric Brown was one of the first really good pieces for a budding Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense back in the mid to late 70s and early 80s. Like I said, he played with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 1976 all the way to 1984. Very underrated guy, you know, very underrated. Honestly, this probably won't happen, but if it was up to me, you know, maybe a little bit of a dark horse pick for the Buccaneers Ring of Honor or the NFL Hall of Fame one day. I don't know. Maybe one day, many years down the line, we could see it happen. But Cedric Brown was a very underrated safety, in my opinion. You know, he showed up. I think he was like 6'2", 199 pounds. He had a very good build, in my opinion. And he just came in and he worked. His best year was in 1981 when he had 9 interceptions. That's really good. That's really good, especially for a Buccaneers team that just did not start off well at all. You know, he had to endure 26 straight losses. He was part of that. You know, with Roy Selmon, you know, those two pairing up really helped add a couple of young stars to this beginning stages of a Buccaneers defense and just a Buccaneers team in general. And like I said, there's not a lot of stats on Cedric Brown. Not a lot at all. He is third all-time for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in interceptions with 29, and for games played, he's played 100 games for the team, which puts him at 35th overall all-time. Now, like I said, that's the only stats I could find, guys. I couldn't find tackles, tackle assists, forced fumbles. Literally, I couldn't find anything. All I could find were interceptions in the amount of games he played. I don't know why that's the case. I don't know if just people didn't record them. It's weird. I had a little bit of a similar trouble with Roy Selmon, so I don't know if people just didn't care enough about the Buccaneers in the 70s and early 80s to write down their stats or not. Maybe they were lost in some type of accident. I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but those were the only 2 stats I could find. Still, regardless, playing 100 games, especially back then, you know, he survived. He survived the really crappy start to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers franchise, and he still was able to etch out 29 interceptions, which is 3rd all time. It's not too bad in my opinion. But moving on to the final secondary piece of this list, it is a strong safety. Strong safety. Who's it gonna be? It's John Lynch, obviously, guys. There's no honorable mention because there's no honorable mention necessary. John Lynch is a freaking beast, dude. He hits like a truck. Now, John Lynch was drafted in the 3rd round of the 1993 NFL draft. He is a 5-time Pro Bowler for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He would go on to play 4 years for the Denver Broncos, and he would make a Pro Bowl all 4 of those years as well. I'm not going to include that because, you know, it's not with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm specifically looking at their time with the Buccaneers. And, you know, that's just what I'm going off of here. He's a 3-time All-Pro first team, a 1-time second All-Pro team, and he is in the Buccaneers Ring of Honor and the Denver Broncos Ring of Fame is what they call it. What a stupid name, am I right? Ring of Fame? Stupid. Now, he played with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 1993 all the way to 2003. So again, another long stretch of time where he was just with the team and just overall dominant, man. John Lynch, again, another big reason why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won that Super Bowl in 2002. We all know this, you know, he's so good. You know, he's a Super Bowl champion, too. I forgot to say that in the accolades part, but, you know, John Lynch was so good. You pair him with Derek Brooks, with Ronnie Barber, with Warren Sapp, with Hardy Nickerson, with Shelton Quarles. It was scary how good that Bucs defense was. You know, a lot of people say like, oh, you know, when people talk about these good defenses, like, oh, the Seattle Seahawks, they had a good defense, and oh, this team had a good defense, dude. People are always sleeping on that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. They shouldn't. John Lynch is a future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. He obviously has been a quarterfinalist or semi-finalist or whatever the past few years. The dude's going to make the Hall of Fame eventually, and Brooks is going to be in the Hall of Fame, Barber is going to be in the Hall of Fame, Lynch is going to be in the Hall of Fame, Sapp is going to be in the Hall of Fame. That's 4 Hall of Famers from one defense. If that doesn't spell one of the better defenses, if not the best defense of all time, dude, I don't know what to tell you. Now, taking a look at just his all-time stats for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in assisted tackles, John Lynch is actually second all-time with 246. Forced fumbles, he does fall off a little bit. He actually comes in at number 12 with 7, which is, you know, a little bit unfortunate because, you know, it's like, oh, dude, big, hard-hitting safety. Yeah, John Lynch was just an overall balanced, just beastly safety, in my opinion, but he could still hit like a truck. Unfortunately, the forced fumbles just weren't there all the time, but still, 7. Hey, it's not bad. Number 12 all time? It's not bad. For solo tackles, John Lynch is 5th with 541. Again, pretty good number. John Lynch is around the ball a lot. Apparently so is Barber and Brooks and Sapp. They're all so good. And for interceptions, Lynch is 6th all-time on the team with 23. Again, it's pretty good. Like, John Lynch is so good. Everybody's so good. God, this whole defensive section for the greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all time has been such a fun section for me to do just because of how freaking dominant these players are, man. And for games played, John Lynch is 5th all time with 164. Again, you know, considering he didn't play for the Buccaneers for the last 4 years of his career, he went off to play for Denver. You know, if he would have spent those last 4 years with the Buccaneers, he could have been way higher up on this list. You know, probably top 4, well, yeah, top 4 or 3. You know, Lynch was awesome. He was an Iron Man. He played so many games for the Buccaneers. He had such great stats for the Buccaneers for, like, safeties. You know, him, Cedric Brown, well, him, Barber, I guess I should say. You know, and Brooks and Sapp. And, God, guys, I could literally gush about that Buccaneers defense in Super Bowl defense forever. They just were so dominant. I wish we had all of them in their primes right now, just right now, and everything would be okay. I would have no stress in the world. Everything would be fine. I'd be the happiest Buccaneers fan alive. It's great. It's great. John Lynch was great. He was cool. He was wonderful. But let me know what you all think about the 3 players I selected down in the comment section below. Again, the best cornerback of the Buccaneers of all time, in my opinion, is Ronnie Barber. The best free safety is Cedric Brown. And the best strong safety is John Lynch. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know all of that down in the comment section below. And if you guys have any other ideas or any types of videos, leave those down in the comment section below, or just overall players you thought were very good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'd love to hear all of your guys' opinions. It'd be greatly appreciated. I do hope you all enjoyed this video. Sorry I didn't wear the Buccaneers polo today. It's being washed. You know how it is. Laundry. It's whatever. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next video or live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, go Bucs!